Then I started writing. I wrote that releasing a soft denial would fail because the public could smell the rehearsed innocence. I wrote that if she truly was a victim of manipulation, the brand should position her not as a saint, but as a woman who made a devastating mistake while trusting the wrong person. That was all I said. Then I wrote the opening line of a possible statement. I trusted someone I loved, and the trust became the mistake that changed so many lives, including mine. I stopped. After 28 minutes, my palms were sweating. Ifeoma collected the laptop first. She read. Her face gave nothing away. Then she passed it to Mr. Darimola. He read more slowly. Kunle stood behind him, looking over his shoulder. Nobody spoke. My stomach began to twist. Had I ruined it? Had I done too much? This was the problem with being broke and principled. Principles were expensive and hungry people could not afford to be brave every single day. Finally, Mr. Dermola looked at me. You did not follow the brief. My heart dropped. I'm sorry, I said. I just thought, but you understood the problem, he said. I stood up and then he tapped the laptop. Ifeoma looked at him. She's inexperienced. Of course she is, he said. That's why we can afford her. Ifeoma did not smile. Kunle did. Mr. Dermola turned back at me. We have one more step and it is not optional. My throat tightened. What step? NDA, background check, and a field assignment tonight. Tonight? Yes, if you accept. I should have had many questions. I should have asked what an entry-level media assistant needed a field assignment for at night. I should have remembered that when opportunities arrive too fast in Lagos, you could check and then saw something that came with it. But I had only 2,430 naira in my account. My mother needed drugs. My rent was waiting. My life was choking me. So I said, accept. I signed the NDA. I didn't even read every line. That was my second mistake. The field assignment was simple according to them. Go with Kunle for an interview for a woman in Ajah. She's connected with the docudrama project. A potential source. She could only speak off camera at night because she's feared of being seen. I was to observe, take notes and ask questions only if needed. Think of this as your first test in the real world, Kunle said, as we walked out of the office around 6:10 p.m. The sky began to dim. Lekki's traffic was already gathering its demons. I checked my phone, 7% battery. 3 missed calls from Blessing, 2 from my mom and 1 from Daniel. I locked my phone. Kunle noticed. You okay? Yes. He smiled. You say that like it's a weapon. I looked at him. He had an easy face, the kind that make you want to trust him. That alone made me very cautious of him. I'm fine, I said. Where do you stay? He asked. Iyanopaja. He whistled. From Iyanopaja to Lekki for an interview? That's commitment. That's poverty to me. He laughed. And then stopped when he realized I wasn't joking. Sorry. Don't be, I said. We entered his car, a black Toyota Corolla that smelled like mint gum and new money. Not too flashy, clean but reliable. The kind of car that a man bought when he wanted to look serious but not suspicious. As we drove, Kunle explained the project. The docudrama was called Girls on Fire. It followed the lives of young Nigerian women caught between ambition, survival, love, social media pressure, family expectations and danger. Each episode was inspired by a real story. They wanted rawness, truth and something variable, meaningful. I listened. I was fascinated by myself. That's the kind of story I want to tell, I said. What kind? Stories about girls who are trying not to drown. He glanced at me. And are you? Am I what? Trying not to drown? I looked out the window at the endless red brake lights. Everybody in Lagos is swimming with one hand, I said. Kunle waited for a moment. Then he asked, Is that a line? I smiled faintly. Don't steal it. I will credit you in my heart and pay you in cash. He smiled. For a while I felt relaxed. That's how danger works sometimes. It did not arrive with thunder. Sometimes it drove in, smiled nicely and asked about your dreams. We got to Ajah around 8:03 p.m. But then my phone was dead. The woman we were supposed to meet lived in a gate estate. Not the fancy kind. The kind of estate that looked respectable during the day and suspicious at night. Half of the street lights were out. The security man at the gate waved at us after Kunle mentioned a name. "Who are we meeting again?" I asked. Kunle checked his phone. "Mrs. Salako." What is her connection to the story? She used to work for the man behind the investment scam. The boyfriend? He paused. Yes, the boyfriend. That pause there. Small but there. I tried to fade it away. We parked in front of a duplex at the end of a quiet street. The house was dark except for one light upstairs. Kunle turned off the car engines. "Let me go in first and make sure she's comfortable." I frowned. "I thought we were here for an interview." "You are just protocol." "Protocol, you say, then leaving the new girl in a dark car?" He smiled. "You're funny." He looked at me for a second, then his smile faded. "Lock the doors, I'll be there in 5 minutes." He got out. I watched him walk away to the gate and press the bell. A housemaid opened the door. He entered and the gate closed. 5 minutes had passed, then 10, then 15. The street was too quiet. I sat in that car clutching my rented handbag. Suddenly I became aware that nobody knew where I was. My phone had died. I had entered a stranger's car, gone to Aja at night and signed a document I didn't even fully read. All because I wanted 250,000 naira. I whispered to myself, "Teni, you are mad." A moment caught my eyes. At first I thought it was shadow, then I saw her. A girl standing across the street, half hidden behind a parked SUV. She was wearing a hoodie despite the heat. Her face was partially covered. She looked left, then right, then quickly walked towards Kunle's car. My heart began to pound. She pulled the hoodie off. It was the girl from the video, the influencer, the one crying about stolen money. Her eyes were wide with fear. "Please," she whispered through the glass. "Are you Teni?" My blood ran cold. How did she know my name? I didn't move. Then she tapped again more urgently. "Please, you need to leave. They are not who they say they are." My mouth went dry. I unlocked the door before my brain could stop me. She opened it and slipped into the back seat, crouching low. "What is going on here?" I whispered. "My name is Zara. And if Kunle brought you here, you are in trouble." I stared at her. My voice came out so thin. "What?" She looked towards the house. "They use girls like you." "Who are they?" I asked. "The Hive, Daremola, Kunle, all of them." No. That came out of my mouth because it needed not to be true. She shook her head saying, "They find desperate girls, smart, broke, girls who need one chance. They offer them jobs, media projects, talent deals, and then they make you sign things. They move things, deliver things, record things before you even understand you're inside something criminal." My heart began to hammer against my ribs. "No," I said again, but weaker. Zara had already leaned forward. "You signed an NDA today, right?" I said nothing. "You did it really well?" I felt sick. She laughed bitterly. "Nobody does." Outside, the door opened and Kunle stepped out. Zara ducked below. "Listen to me," she whispered. "Mrs. Saleko is dead." I stopped breathing. "She died 2 weeks ago. Nobody lives in that house except their people. They brought you here for something else." Kunle was walking towards the car now, closer and closer. Zara grabbed my shoulder. "When he enters the car, act normal. Ask him to stop at a pharmacy that you are sick. There's a police checkpoint there. Near the roundabout. Run." "Why should I trust you?" I told her. Her eyes were filled with tears. "Because last month, I was you." Kunle opened the driver's door. Zara had already slipped out behind the back seat. Then I turned forward so fast. My neck hurt. Kunle entered smiling. "Sorry that took longer than expected." My hands were shaking. I hid them beside my bag. "Is she ready?" I asked. "Small issue. We need to go somewhere else." My stomach dropped. "Where?" "Chevron. She relocated there for safety." I forced a laugh. At this night, he looked at me. His smile remained, but there was something left in his eyes. You said you could handle pressure. Yes, yes. I just felt somehow. Somehow? My stomach dropped. I have not eaten all day, so I was just hungry. That part was true, though I hadn't eaten all day. I need a pharmacy to buy something, maybe glucose. He studied me. For a terrible second, I thought he knew. Then he entered the car. Fine, we'll stop. My heart was beating so loud. I was shocked only could hear it. He kept glancing at me. You're sweating, he said. Yeah, stomach pain. You didn't eat before coming? No. You better take care of yourself, Teni. The way he said my name made my skin crawl. A few minutes later, we approached the roundabout. In the distance, I saw the blue light, the police checkpoint. I almost cried. And there it was, the pharmacy. It was a small shop beside the filling station just before the checkpoint. Kunle slowed down. Be fast. I opened the door and then I heard Zara's voice in my head. Run! I ran, not towards the pharmacy, but towards the police light. Kunle shouted behind me, Teni! I did not even turn. My rented heels betrayed me after 5 steps. One twisted under pain and shot through my ankle. I kicked both shoes off and kept running barefoot on the rough ground, clutching the black handbag like my life was inside it. Maybe because it was. Kunle's door slammed. Teni, stop! People turned. The police officer turned on his torch. Madam, what did happen? I reached him shaking and almost falling. Please, I gasped. Help me. They are trying to... A man grabbed my hand. I turned. It was Kunle. He was smiling while his fingers dug into my skin. Officer, sorry, she's with me. Panic attack. We're coming from work. I tried to pull away. I don't know him, I swear. Kunle's smile tightened. The officer looked at him, then at me, then to my cream blazer dress, then to Kunle's car and then back at me. That look. I knew that look. That was the look poor people received when their truth stood beside them. Kunle lowered his voice. She's stressed. NYSC girl, we're trying to help her. The officer's expression softened towards him, but not me. My chest collapsed. And then Zara stepped out of nowhere. She had been following us. His name is Kunle Aderemi, she shouted loudly. He's part of the people moving money through fake media contracts. Everyone turned. Kunle's hand dropped from my arm. His face changed completely. For the first time that night, I saw a man who behind all those smiles was cold, angry and dangerous. Zara! He said, confused but angry. She raised the phone. I recorded everything! Kunle was shocked. The police officers moved faster. Within seconds, there was shouting. Another officer came. Kunle tried to talk, and then he became threatened, and then a name dropped. Zara repeated every single thing. She said she had evidence. I stood barefoot beside this checkpoint, shaking so badly that a woman from the pharmacy brought me out a plastic chair to sit. It felt so unreal, like I had fallen into another person's nightmare. At the station, the night stretched into something heavy. Zara told me her story. Her full name was Zara Bello, a lifestyle influencer with over 300,000 followers. 6 months earlier, the Hives Collective signed her for a brand management deal. They helped her grow her followings, gave her campaigns, introduced her to investors, and slowly put her into a private client transaction. At first, it looked legitimate. Appearance fees, campaign advances, talent retainers, the money started entering accounts from different names she couldn't recognize. Kunle told her it was normal. Daremola said it was how wealthy clients move funds indirectly. Informer handled documents. Everything came with contracts, NDAs, and pressure. By the time Zara realized what was happening, some of the money came from victims with fake investment scheme. Her signature was everywhere. When she threatened to expose them, they recorded her crying and planned to release it with a controlled confession to make her look like the face of the scandal while the network disappeared. They needed another girl. Zara said to me, Someone new, someone with a clean record, broke enough to obey, smart enough to be useful. I wanted to vomit. All I could think of was 20,000 naira that brought me here. That was the price of the door I almost walked through. Not because I was greedy, but because I was tired. The officers took the statements Zara provided, recording, screenshot, contract, bank alert, every single thing. The officers became more serious even when the evidence started sounding bigger than the roadside drama. Kunle was detained. He kept looking at me, not pleading, promising, like it wasn't over. Around 3 a.m., an officer allowed me to charge my phone. When it came on, messages flooded in. Blessings, my mom's, Daniel's, unknown numbers. I called Blessing first. She picked on the first ring. Teni, where you dey? I burst into tears. Not small tears, the kind of tears that came from my spine. Blessing! Teni, where you dey? Talk now. I'm at the police station. Jesus, what happened? I did not do anything. Which station you dey? Tell me. I told her everything. She said she was coming. Then I called my mom. I lied. I told her that the interview ran late and my phone had died. She prayed. She glorified God. I cried silently through the prayer. By morning, the story had begun to leak. Not the full story, just a fragment. Popular influencer Zara Bello in police custody over investment scam. Blogs ran with it. Then another deadline. Media staff agency arrested in connection with fraud network. By noon, the House Collective had released a statement denying every single thing. By evening, Mr. Deremola had vanished. Informer's number stopped connecting. Kunle's lawyers arrived, and me, I went back to my room in Yalopaja with a bruised feet, swollen ankle, a dead phone battery, and a rented cream blazer stained with dust and fear. The rental girl charged me 80,000 naira for damages. I laughed when she said it, then I cried after the call ended. 3 days had passed. I did not go to school. I did not eat properly. I kept replaying every single thing. The office, the salary, the folder, the NDA. Zara at the window of that car. Kunle's hand on my arm. The officer almost believing him and what could have happened. I felt stupid. Then angry. Then ashamed. Then angry again. On the 4th day, Sarah called. Are you okay? She asked. I was lying in my mattress staring at the ceiling fan that had not worked since January. No, I said. Me too. We were both quiet and then she said, You saved me. I sat up. No, you saved me. If you didn't run, I wouldn't have come out. If you didn't want me, I wouldn't have known. Maybe we saved each other. That sounded nice. Too nice for what had happened. I asked, What happens now? My lawyer wants me to tell the full story before they bury it. Can you? I have to. I want you to write it. What? My statement? No PR nonsense, but the truth? You saw what they did. You understand it. Zara, I'm not a lawyer. I have lawyers, but I need a storyteller. And you're the only one to do it for me, Teni. I almost said no, not because I didn't want to, but because I was scared. The Hive is not just 4 people in a glass office. It was connected to money, influencers, politicians, children brands, people with drivers and lawyers, political contact, anything you can think of. And I didn't want trouble. Sarah's voice softened. Teni, trouble already knows your address. That night, I wrote Sarah's statement. I wrote it with shaking hands and angers in my chest. Not to make her look innocent, not to make her look perfect, but to make her human. She posted it around 9 p.m. The first line was mine. I started with this. I trusted someone I loved, and the trust became the mistake that changed many lives, including mine. By midnight, it had gone viral. Not the normal kind of viral, but national viral. People argued, people insulted her, people defended her, victims came forward. Other girls began sharing similar stories about the Hive's collectives. a makeup artist, a former intern, a campus ambassador, a content creator from Abuja, a scriptwriter from Ibadan. Different girls and different patterns. Opportunities, contracts, pressure, money, silence. By morning, my phone was full of messages from numbers I did not know. Some threatening me, some thanking me. One message stood out. You write like someone who has been hungry before. Call me. N. I ignored it. Then the person called. I answered. Hello? A woman's voice came through. My name is Nadia Balogun. I am an investigative journalist with Westline Media. I read Zara's statement. She said you wrote it. My heart started racing. I helped. I am working on a documentary about exploitation in the curator's economy. We have been tracking the Hives Collective for months now, but nobody wanted to speak on record. Zara changed all that. I sat up. Okay, I want to meet you. I didn't know anything before all that had happened. But now you know enough. And you can write. I almost laughed. Everyone keeps saying I can write like it was food. Nadia continued. We are building a writer's room for the documentary. Paid work, short contract, 500,000 for 6 weeks. I stood up so fast. My head spun. What? 500,000? Yes, for research writing, narration draft, victim story mapping, some in-person meetings. I did not speak. Hello, Teni? I pressed the phone harder to my ear. I'm here. Are you interested? I looked around my room. I looked at the bucket near the door, at the peeling wall, at my NYSC boots under the bed, at the unpaid rent reminders stuck to the table, and my life being squeezed slowly out of me, quietly without mercy. Was I interested? I started laughing. Then I started crying. And then I laughed again. And I said, yes, I'm interested. 6 weeks changed my life. Not the way films pretended. Not overnight. Not the one mortgage then a perfect soundtrack. But enough. My rent was paid. I sent my mom money for drugs and food. I paid back Blessing with interest, despite her shouting at me for forming rich woman. I sent Daniel 30,000 naira and told him not to disturb me for 2 weeks unless he was on fire. I bought new shoes, flat ones, and I stopped apologizing to my bank apps before opening it. The documentary was called Pretty Contracts. It exposed how young women in Nigeria's media space and influencers were manipulated with fake opportunities, illegal financial arrangements, emotional blackmails, and NDAs used as handcuffs. Zara became the face of it. And not only the voice. I wrote the narration. My words opened the documentary. In Lagos, opportunities does not always knock. Sometimes it smiles, sometimes it sends you a WhatsApp message when you only have 20,000 naira left. When the trailer dropped, people shared that line everywhere. On Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp status of aunties who didn't know me but somehow added to the caption. Then Netflix Nigeria reposted the trailer. I screamed so loud. Blessing ran to my room holding her spoon like a weapon. What happened? I showed her my phone. She looked at it and then she looked at me and she shouted, "Auntie Complex, don't blow!" Simi started crying because she thought blowing meant I had exploded. For the first time in a long while, I laughed until my stomach hurt for a good reason. But life did not happen in a straight line after that breakthrough. 2 months after Kunle's arrest, I saw him again. Not physically, not on the phone, but in a video. He had been granted bail. He walked out of the court wearing a white kaftan and a dark shade, surrounded by lawyers, reporters shouting questions. He ignored them. And then, just before he entered his car, he turned towards the camera and then he smiled. The same smile he did in the night in Aja. My body went cold. That evening, I received a text from an unknown number. "You should have taken that job." I stared at it. My hands did not shake this time. I screenshotted it and sent it to Nadia, Zara, and then an investigating officer. Then I blocked the number. That was another thing Survivor taught me. Fear could visit, but it did not have to move me. Months had passed, the case widened. Daremola was eventually arrested at the airport trying to leave the country. Ifeoma turned herself in with a lawyer and a face that looked like she had already edited her own story. More victims came forward. Some cried on cameras, some refused to show their faces, some were angry at Zara, some forgave her, and some never would. That was the thing about truth. It did not always come clean. Sometimes it opened wounds properly so that they could pretend not to be skinned. My NYSC service ended on a Thursday. I collected my certificate wearing the same white shirt that had once looked tired in my bedroom mirror. This time I had ironed it. My khaki sat properly, my boots were shorn. After the ceremony, I stood outside with the other COP members taking pictures, shouting, hugging, pretending that I wasn't terrified of the future. My mother came from Abeokuta. She wore her best lace, cried when she saw me. "My daughter," she said, holding my face. "You survived." She wanted to tell me her survival was not as beautiful as mine, but I understood that survival was ugly. Survival was debt. Survival was hunger. Survival was entering cars you shouldn't have entered. Survival was when the world had a price for your desperation. Survival was running barefoot towards the police, and it was saying the truth when fear was sitting beside me. But I hugged her. "Yes, mommy," I whispered. "I survived." That evening, I got a mail. It was from a production company partnering with Westline Media. They wanted me in their writer's room for a limited drama series based on real survivor stories of young Nigerian women. It was paid, credited, and professional. My first official screenwriting job. I read the email 3 times, then I sat on the floor and cried. Not the broken kind of cry, but the release kind. A year later, I stood inside a small studio in Victoria Island watching an actress play a version of me. Not exactly me, but close enough. She stood in the bathroom staring at her bank alert, available balance 20,430 naira. The director shouted, "Action!" The actress whispered, "Teni, you are not dead." My chest tightened. Beside me, Zara squeezed my hand. She was doing better. Not perfect, but better. She had lost followers, gained enemies, found real friends, and started a foundation helping young women create real contacts before signing them. She cried sometimes, so did I. Blessing now owned 2 salons. Daniel graduated, and my mom's blood pressure stabilized. And me? I learned something I wished I had known earlier. Your last chance is not always what it looks like. Sometimes your last chance is the moment you refuse to be used. Sometimes your last 20,000 naira is not the end of your life. Then the director shouted, "Cut!" The room went silent and everyone clapped. I stood there watching the actress wipe off her fake tears from her face while the room was ran down through mine. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Blessing. "Madam Netflix, abeg buy bread if they come back." Go. I laughed. Before we could conclude the conversation, another message came in, an unknown number. For a second, my heart stopped and then I opened it. "Congratulations, Teniola. We saw the plot and would like for a full discussion." I stared at the screen. The studio lights blurred. Zara leaned in closer. "Good news?" I smiled, this time not crooked. "Life-changing," I said. Then I looked at the bathroom, at the fake cracked mirror, at the actress in her old NYSC shirt, at the whole building that was built from the worst days of my life. Then I realized something. The trap had not swallowed me. It had opened a door.